Compare figure 1.3 and figure 1.4. What difference do you see? Which of these two methods seems more natural and are more useful? Creating diagram and outline notes. Here is a possible summary of the passage you read for Task 6. A linguistic revolution. Language and the Internet. The Internet is a linguistic revolution. It consists of several domains, including emails in the World Wide Web, chat rooms, and fantasy games. Emails, the fact that they are often written in an accurate and idiosyncratic way, is not truly revolutionary. With this revolutionary is the possibility of framing, which allows Internet users to split up messages they receive, which can then be sent on to other people and further split up, and so on. With regard to web pages, the revolutionary thing is a kind of writing which is not permanent. Web pages can can change in front of your very eyes. Chat rooms offer the possibility of listening and speaking to dozens of people at the same time in a way that has never been possible before. Lastly, another evolution in the internet is the way it has changed from an English only medium to a truly multilingual medium. How would you express this information in the form of outline notes? Have a got at it Have a go at it. Compare your notes with others in the group. Did you use numbers or letters or a combination of both? If you used numbers, did you have any particular system of numbering? Did you use spacing? Now see if you can display the same information in the form of a diagram. Source details, first main deal idea, third main idea, point 1, point 2, example 1, example 2, example 1, example 2, blue. Second main idea, point 1, point 2, point 3, fourth main idea. Example of a linear outline layout. Source details and third title detail. This is a diagram of 1.4. If you can look at it, then you can understand it. Otherwise, you will not understand without looking at it. So I'll recommend you to go through the diagram. I will share this link in the description below. Consolidating your reading skills. Now we will attempt to bring together many of the techniques we have been looking at in this unit. Predicting what is in a text. Look at the title of the article below. His pain, her pain, and its helpful footnote at the end of the article. What sort of topics do you think the writer will be dealing with? If you are in a group, compare your answer. Skimming Skim through the article and answer this question. What are the main topics that this article is concerned with? You should come up with a list too. If you are in a group, compare your answer. Searching, see if you can find the answer to the following question. What surprising discovery did John Levin make? Why have the different reaction to drugs on the part of men and women eluded scientists for so long? What are the possible biological explanation for the different reaction of man and woman to pain? Careful reading. Read carefully through this passage. Don't forget to time yourself. Work out your reading speed by checking the reading speed chart. Then make a summary of the passage in the form of either outline notes or a diagram of both. If you are in a group, compare your summaries. Is pain, heart pain? When it comes to hurting, men are from Mars and women are from Venus after all. Lisa Mantle. John Levin was just tasting painkillers on people but had the wisdom to extract it when he uncovered rather more than he bargained for. The woman in his study group found that strong painkillers related to morphine called kappa opioids were most effective at numbing pain. But the same drugs didn't work for the men at all. In fact, the doses used in the clinical trial made pain worse for men, says Levine, a clinical neuroscientist from the University of California in San Francisco. He was shocked. The idea that a therapy that had been around for decades could affect men and women in such dramatically different ways was anathema, he says. It was such an incredible mindset in the field of pain, missing what had clearly gone on in front of their eyes for years. It is not an effect specific to opioids. Either another recent study showed that ibuprofen, a widely used anti-inflammatory drug, can be much less effective for women than for men. Research at the University of New South Wales found that when they used mild electric shocks to induce pain in healthy young people, only the men got any relief with ibuprofen. It was only a small study, but still worrying as the drug is often marked with women in mind. It's been 5 years now since Levin first spotted a sex difference, yet we still don't know why it exists. And when it comes to testing or prescribing painkillers or studying pain, nothing much has changed. Remarkably, even many of these involved in pain research are unaware of these findings. I myself have never been able to get relief from ibuprofen, and now I understand why, says Merita Anthony, a pharmacologist at Georgetown General Clinic Research Center. It's perhaps no surprise that the differences have eluded scientists for so long. Pain is multi-dimensional and highly subjective, and therefore very difficult to study. It varies with the time of day, age, diet, stress, genetic background, and so on. But not only that, only 10 years ago, pharmaceutical products were tested almost exclusively on men. Women were left out of the test in case their inconveniently fluctuating hormones messed up the analysis. Only in 1993 did the US make it as a legal requirement for women to be included in clinical trials. According to a recent report, on average, 52% of the subjects in large-scale trials are women. This looks like progress, but it's not. The figure includes women only. Studies such as those investigating hormone therapies or drugs to treat breast cancer, and when testing medication for diseases common to both sexes, women and men's results are often still lumped together, blurring and differences in the statistical quagmire. To Marietta Anthony, who was previously acting deputy director of the Office of Women's Health at the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, change is imperative. If a drug works differently in men and women, this information should be clearly displayed on the label. Side effects and efficacy really are different in men and women, says Anthony, and there may be a very fundamental biological reason. One of the most more obvious biological reasons is that men and women tend to suffer from different disorders, mostly the result of a complex bag of hormones, productive status, and anatomy. So differences in how women and men report feeling pain have often been dismissed as being solely down to the pain's different origins. But origins aside, there's growing evidence that even when the source is the same, the biochemical signals, nerve connections, and the way the brain handles pain are all quite different in the two sexes. According to Knox Todd, a specialist in the assessment and treatment of pain at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, the differences even make their way in the clinic. What we see in the emergency department is that males make a public display of stoicism, ask for no pain medication, and keep up a good public front. But their stoicism evaporates as soon as men leave the hospital to go home, he says. But who wins in the end? Is having a higher pain threshold good or bad? To women, pain is a wake-up call to shout out the problem before it gets too big. Men, who can put up with more, postpone asking for help until it's too late. Women's prompt action could be at least part of the key to their longer life expectancy. Reference to a book by John Gray, 1992, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, New York HarperCollins. The title implies that men and women are from different planets, that is, they are very different. New Scientist, 19 January 2002. Critical reading. Most people think that effective reading is basically a matter of understanding what the writer is trying to say. This is indeed a necessary first step, but there is more to it than that. The reading process should not be a one-way process where the reader is passive, rather it should be an active and critical process. The first step to becoming a critical reader: establish your own interim position. Ask yourself questions like, what I have I any views of my own on this topic, and if so, what are they? First steps to becoming a critical reader. Establish your own interim position. Ask yourself questions like, have I any views of my own on this topic, and if so, what are they? Have I read any other books, article on this topic, and what general terms did they have to say about it? Remember, you may want to change your views after reading the text. Be at the same time receptive to the author's ideas and also critical of them, which can be a rather difficult process. One teacher at a prestigious university has stated that his ambition is to produce students who are reasonable adventurers. What this is, students who can be excited by new ideas but also able to step back from them and access to them in a detached and rational way. Decided how far you agree with a particular expert. Experts often disagree, so we'll probably have to agree with one or the other. They can't both be right. Look carefully at the evidence they bring forward to support their case. Multiple reading skills. Critical reading. This task is concerned with practicing many of the reading skills we have been discussing, including critical reading. The text is an article from The Economist magazine. Predicting what is in the text, study the title. Note: twine is an archaic word meaning to. What sort of things are economists mostly concerned with? What sort of things are environmental scientists mostly concerned with? Never the twain shall meet is a phrase that is often used to mean that two people or two groups of people are unlikely ever to come together or agree. Why do you think it might be difficult for economists and environmental scientists to agree? Establishing your own interim position, think of two or three environmental issues that are very